My name is JP Heath. I'm the chaplain for the Seafarers in Malmö harbour here in southern Sweden.
That's right.
And you are?
My name is Frederick, and I work for the Seaman Service. I'm with the Swedish Maritime Administration, and we work together, me and JP, and also my colleague Mike, that is not here today, not yet anyway.
So, Frederick, we've got quite a new way of working, because you and Mike alternate mornings and evenings.
That's right, yeah.
So generally speaking, I'm with either you or Mike alternating in the mornings.
Yeah.
And you and Mike are taking responsibility for visiting ships well into the evening.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So the times that we are available for visiting seafarers in the harbours of Malmö and Landskrona have radically increased.
Yeah, you can say that, absolutely.
And as a consequence, we are also able to visit more vessels.
Yeah.
But right now, we find ourselves in Lent. Last week was the beginning of Lent.
That's right.
And we had Ash Wednesday, and on the days following Ash Wednesday, we were able to go to quite a number of vessels and do the imposition of ashes for people.
Yes.
You were with me for some of those. How did that go?
I think it went very well. It was very well appreciated, I think, of the guys that got this offer, and because we have a lot of Catholic seafarers, and this is a big thing. Not so big in Sweden. I'm not sure I've ever seen it in Sweden, actually. Now I have, but since we are on ships, we are really not in Sweden.
Yeah. And the reality is that it is the imposition of ashes is something that is practiced in many different denominations, not just the Roman Catholics. And so we make it available to everybody who visits our harbours. And we're working our way towards Easter. It's spring at the moment. People might be surprised to hear me say that it's spring when it's 4 degrees. But we have a particularly interesting meteorological description of spring in Sweden. And so people say that spring is sprung not when they see flowers, but when it is meteorologically defined as spring. And that means that you've had 7 consecutive days where the temperature has not dropped below 0.
There you go.
So we are in spring.
Believe it or not. But we have had a beautiful weekend,
and
you gotta say that.
We actually have had some very exciting weather, and last week, as we were driving, we were seeing the daffodils about to burst into bloom.
That's right.
Now that's definitely a physical manifestation of spring.
Yeah.
And at the moment the crocuses are out everywhere.
Yeah.
And
snowdrops.
The snowdrops.
Sweden, I don't know the English word for it, but
so even physically, spring has sprung.
Yeah.
But spring traditionally has these vacillating weathers from backwards and forwards between a little warmer and a little colder, and a little warmer and a little colder.
Yeah, it's like a JoJo, back and forth, up and down.
So we are. The other reality of spring being sprung is that it springs in different places in Sweden. So while in Malmö we may be in spring, in the north of Sweden, they're still completely covered in snow and
Oh
ice.
yes, oh yes.
So-
Luleå, not so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, I talked with friends in Jämtland. That is far from the coast, but they have like -15 still every now and then they have warmer, and then it get back down to -15 again. So I'm happy to live in Malmö, I can tell you.
Yes. So, Frederick, do we have anything specifically planned at the moment? What are we working on?
Well, we always have plans. Is there anything in particular you're thinking about?
I'm thinking maybe we should speak a little bit about the growing relationship we have with ITF.
Oh, yeah.
So, ITF is the International
Transport Federation or something like that. Yeah.
And
it's like a union for all seafarers and also others in transport business.
And we have recently seen a new person appointed to ITF
right.
here in Skåne.
Yeah, in southern Sweden actually.
And we from the Malmö Seafarers Chaplaincy and from Sjöfartsverket, we have responsibility for the harbors of Landskrona, Malmö, Trelleborg and Ystad. But this person who is working for ITF virtually has everything from south of
Kalmar, I think, up to Gothenburg.
Yeah,
I
mean,
more or less.
It's
crazy
massive.
big. Hello, this is not red. Come on.
And he travels.
He travels a lot. We travel some, but he is like 10 times worse than us.
Yeah. So he really does move around. Yeah. And what's very exciting is that he visits vessels in ports everywhere where he can, and he is able to speak to people about their work circumstances and conditions. He's able to address issues that relate to welfare and also safety on board.
Yeah, much more than we do. We have no such.
So I think it's very good that we actually make that distinction.
Yeah.
That ours is a social engagement with seafarers.
Yes.
Well, one might want to say social and spiritual.
Yes. Absolutely.
Whereas his engagement can be social in nature, but focuses on employment and employment conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
And so while we will communicate very closely together, there is definitely things that we would not be able to do that ITF is able to do. And what he is able to do for us is when visiting, if he finds particularly difficult circumstances, he's able to notify us, and we are able to go in and try and address some of those issues. So that doesn't mean that we have any legal recourse at all. We don't. And that's part of the safety of the work that we do, that people can always know that if they speak to us about something, it remains completely confidential, and we aren't involved in any legal processes.
No, exactly.
So people are able to speak to us about issues, and he is able to call us to go in and try and assist with situations where those may or may not arise.
Right. Our work is called sometimes social sustainability, and that means that the welfare of the individual is our main goal, so to speak. And so you could say that we overlap a little bit, but the ITF responsibility is more, like JP says, legal, and he also look into safety and other things that we can't get involved in, you know.
So here we actually have the daffodils.
Oh, there! I see one open.
They are open
Two.
daffodils.
Damn! Look at this, and more.
Yeah.
Yes.
So just so you know that this is not a good sign. It's very good to have spring, but the Swedish name for these is Easter lilies.
Yeah.
Easter lilies. So daffodils in Swedish are called Easter lilies.
That's right.
And we're only at the beginning of Lent.
Yeah.
So I fear that by the time Easter comes, we will have no lilies.
Oh, well, I can make you happy there, because they're telling me that this week is going to be very cold.
Oh, you think these will close up again?
They will close up again, and they say, they look out now and then they say, I don't think so, if there's too much cold.
And, yes,
Look at the geese is lying here.
Yes.
I think JP wants to hunt one of these.
I'm looking at something for my pot. Yeah. So, for those of you who are on the vessels and who come and visit us in port, we really want you to know that we try to have your back wherever.
Always.
And we are not the only ones who are working for your welfare. It is very good to know that we have a very active and compassionate ITF person who is in this region as well.
Yeah.
And we have representatives of various other unions that represent seafarers also down in this part of Skåne in Sweden. And then within our ports, we have organizations like Transportstyrelse, which is the transport department.
Yeah.
And they also visit the vessels to make sure that the living conditions and the safety on board is kept to the standard that Sweden requires.
Yeah.
So here in this part of Sweden, there is a very strong safety net looking after your interests.
Yeah.
And we want you to know that. And we also want you to know that that we do also take your spiritual welfare seriously. And if ever you need to speak to a priest or for counseling, confession, or you would like to have a mass on board, we're there for you. And at the various high seasons within the church calendar, like Lent, we will come to you and make sure that you can start your Lent in the way that you want to, with the imposition of ashes, if that is what you want. There is never any obligation to participate in any of this, but there's always an invitation.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, God bless you.
Yeah.
And we wishing you, at this stage, a good Lent.
Yes. Quick one last question to you.
Yes.
How long will we do this ashing?
We will continue for this week only.
Yeah.
And usually the imposition of ashes only happens on Ash Wednesday. But we are obviously aware that if you are at sea, you can't get to a church on Ash Wednesday. And that is why we make the imposition of ashes available for Ash Wednesday and the 10 days following.
Okay. Great. Okay, so now we're closing into a new ship, and we say goodbye.
Yep.